What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be getting some new small fish, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about some other tanks out there in the fish room and a couple other fish that I'm thinking about moving around, and some stuff that went on with some other fish and a crayfish and all that, and it's a lot. So just stay tuned because we got a lot to get to in this video. But today we're going to be getting some new little bitty small schooling fish. Not going to tell you guys what they are just yet, but it's a pretty simple fish, nothing too crazy, really just to add some more movement into one of my 10-gallon tanks. And it's the tank that has the one little pea puffer and the two little algae eaters. I'm thinking about moving one of the algae eaters out of the tank and into another tank because another tank right now needs an algae eater in it. But really I wanted to get some more pea puffers for this tank before I got these small little bitty fish we're going to get today. But nobody's really got pea puffers right now, and the ones that do have them, it's going to take a while to ship, so I think I'm just going to wait till after Christmas to order those, and hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to get them. But this tank definitely needs some more activity in it. I mean, the tank looks great. I'm really trying to get this dwarf hairgrass to really get going in here off this eco-complete substrate, and once it does, it is going to look really, really nice in here. But the tank just needs some more fish today, so that is what we're going to get for it. And I figured I'd show you guys the beta tank really fast. I have not shown this tank in a while on camera. It's looking great. The plants are doing great. There's our white opal beta right there, doing really, really nice. And then there's some of the ember tetras and one of the little neons right there. And we also have a little otocinclus in here somewhere. But he can be really, really hard to find sometimes. But he's in here somewhere. And there he is right back there. See him? Real hard to see, but there he is. But with all that being said, let's go and head on over to the store. We got a bunch of new fish in yesterday, so I'll show you guys some of those new fish, and also show you guys the new fish that we are for sure getting today. So let's do it. It is cold today. Holy smokes, it's cold. 38 degrees, yes sir. Okay, so we got a bit of a problem, and it's a pretty big problem. So you can probably tell the footage looks a little bit different. That's because, well, I'm filming on my GoPro right now. But I did recently get a mic for it, so the audio maybe doesn't sound that bad. Maybe doesn't sound so GoPro-ish. But my lens that I usually use for my Sony, which is my actual filming camera, is acting really funny right now, and it's not letting me film with that lens. I actually do have another lens. It's a telephoto lens. Where's it at? I'll show it to you guys. This is it right here, and for those of you who don't know, a telephoto lens, which is what this is meant for zooming in like really, really far. So I use this to get like really close and uptight shots, and obviously that's not going to work for the kind of filming that I'm doing right now. So I'm going to try to film the rest of this video the best I can. But I know I told you guys I was going to try to film a little bit more in the store today, which I was going to try to, but we were so busy I really just never got around to it. But we had probably the biggest fish order that we've had since I've been there, which has been a little over a year now. We had a guy come in there today and literally got like 20 peacocks, 4 red hook silver dollars, like 6 leporinuses, 4 frontosas, a big old clown loach, like a whole bunch of stuff. It took me probably 15-20 minutes or so to bag all of it. And the order was literally over $800. So that was probably the biggest fish order that I've done since I've been there, and that was a lot of fish. But I told you guys we were gonna get some little small schooling fish, nothing too crazy, just something to really add some more movement to one of the 10-gallon tanks, and that's exactly what I got. So here they are. I got 6 longfin leopard danios, and they might not look that interesting right now, but I promise you these are a pretty dang cool little fish, and they're not very expensive at all, really hardy, and just a really active and cool looking fish. So why not go ahead and start acclimating these guys, that way we can put them on in a few minutes. But yeah, they are a pretty darn cool looking little fish. I want to get some better shots of them with my actual camera with a big lens, but definitely gonna look really nice in this tank. And I don't think the pea puffer is gonna mess with them at all. Obviously they do have long fins, and you know, some of the bigger puffers can be kind of fin nippers, but I don't expect this to be a big problem, and not out of pea puffers. There he is right there, actually checking them out. But they should get along just fine. So I don't know, we'll see what happens though. Now I told you guys that I was gonna get a male Crevensis to go along with the female that I had over here in the hexagon tank, and that is exactly what I did off camera last weekend. And guys, the tension between these two is just immaculate. Like, they literally paired up this same night that I put the male in the tank. He was really shy at the store with all the other Crevensis, and then I threw him in the tank with the female. They literally paired up the same night, and they're doing great. And honestly, we're probably going to have some babies, or at least some eggs out of these guys. Probably, I'm thinking within the next week to 2 weeks, possibly. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, everybody in this tank is getting along great. The Le Lupe and the Crevensis are getting along like as good as they possibly can. The Le Lupe stays more towards the bottom of the tank, and the Crevensis kind of have the top part of the rock formation around one little Anubias, and the tank's just doing great. And to think that this tank, literally just a month ago, didn't look nothing like this, didn't have half as many fish, and it looks like this now, and we're probably about to have some babies in the tank, is just crazy. But I'm really happy with how this tank is coming along now. I think we're getting about to where, as far as the number of fish I want to have in there, definitely don't want to add 2 more, especially if these Crevensis do something. And that is going to transition into what I was about to say, and that is, so if you guys remember a few months ago when I got these 2 itty-bitty baby Frontosa, well, if you don't, this is what they looked like. They were itty-bitty, really tiny, and my original plan was for them to eventually go into my 55-gallon African Cichlid tank, and obviously at that size it wasn't going to work. So what I did temporarily, I was going to raise them up, get them to be about 3.5, maybe 4 inches or so, and then move them in the tank. I put them in a 10-gallon temporarily, and they were doing really well in there. They were starting to grow. You know, they're kind of a slower growing fish. And then all of a sudden I come out here one day, and the other Frontosa is missing. Like, literally nowhere to be found, and the top of this tank, actually, compared to a lot of my other tanks, is sealed pretty darn well. A lot of my other tanks don't even have a top on them, and this tank is literally almost fully enclosed. So it would have been really hard for him to jump out, and I'm just puzzled at where he went. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but we've had the one Frontosa all by himself in the tank now for a couple of weeks, and he's actually started to grow a little bit more now that he's by himself, and I think it's getting about time that we can probably go ahead and take him out and put him over there with the African Cichlids and the 2 electric blue Jack Dempseys, and I think he'll get along just fine with them. And I'll probably end up getting another Frontosa right around his size, because obviously, you know, they're a shyer cichlid, and having another Frontosa in there with him would definitely make him feel a little bit more comfortable. So I'll probably get another Frontosa right around his size, but I'm thinking it's getting about time that we can probably move him out of his little 10-gallon and over into the 55-gallon. And if the Crevensis do have babies in the tank, I'm not going to try to raise them up. I'm not going to try to put all this time and effort into raising Crevensis babies, because I've been there, done that before. I literally made a video about breeding fish and literally talked about how them and convicts are like 2 of the easiest fish to breed. But what I might try to do is actually take some of the babies out, like as many as I can catch, and just throw them in the 10-gallon right over here next to the tank, and just see how many we can raise. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but those are some of my plans and some of my thoughts that I have in mind that I may do if the Crevensis do end up having babies in the tank. Well, that was a long clip. Now over here to the 55-gallon tank, it's looking really nice. I have not shown it in a few weeks, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually did lose one or two of the peacocks, but it's rocking and rolling now. I promise you, it is doing great now. You know, I'm not gonna try to replace the peacocks off camera and act like nothing happened, you know, because obviously somebody would see that and it's just dumb to do something like that. But yeah, everybody's getting along in this tank greatly. We've got, what, 4 peacocks, the 2 Jack Dempseys, the leopardinus, and then 2 Synodontis cats. And everybody in this tank is just looking and doing fabulous. So I think by adding the 2 Frontosa in here, that'll probably pretty well complete this tank, because obviously the Jack Dempseys are going to get bigger, the leopardinus is going to keep on getting bigger, and the Frontosas obviously are going to get pretty darn big in this tank, and the peacocks will get even bigger as well. So all these fish definitely are going to grow a lot more, and I definitely don't want to overstock it. So yeah, tank's doing great though. Alright, here they go, all 6 of them in the net, and there they are, already adding a lot more movement in here. Of course, the pea-puffer, he's gonna be really curious of them, but yeah, they already look really nice in here. They're just like the regular old zebra danios. The only difference is, instead of having stripes like they do, they have polka dots. So that's where they get the name leopard danio, and of course these are the longfin versions, so you get longfin leopard danio. But honestly, these are just such an underrated fish. Honestly, in my opinion, they look really nice. They're kind of like the poor man's version of the celestial pearl danio. In a way, they kind of look like them, not a whole bunch, but obviously the polka dots kind of resemble those. But just honestly, a really cool looking fish, and they're going to add a lot more movement and life to this tank. And like I said, I don't think we'll have any issues out of the pea-puffer. There he is right there in the front, actually, begging for some food. You can barely even see him, but honestly, I mean, these guys are probably going to do just fine in here with him, and I am probably going to get at least 2 more pea-puffers in here, and I think that'll pretty well complete this tank. We'll have, you know, the 2 algae eaters in here, and like I said, I may end up moving one of those out of this tank anyways, likely the gold algae eater. We'll have the 2 pea-puffers, and then these 6 longfin pearl danios, so, or not pearl danios, but leopard danios. So, and I think that'll pretty well complete this tank. But yeah, these guys already checking out the tank, really active, and they look really nice in this tank. But I hope you guys did somehow go on to enjoy this video. I try to just make it the best I possibly could. Obviously, the lens I usually use on my big camera, you know, messed up, so I just, like I said, try to make it the best I could with the GoPro and with the mic and all that. But if you guys did somehow enjoy it, it wouldn't hurt to leave a like down below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and let me know what other thoughts or suggestions you have for this 10-gallon tank, whether it be to add plants, which I'm sure that's what a lot of you will probably say. But like I said, I really want to get this hair grass going in here, and once it really does start to take off in the tank, it should look really nice. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I promise you guys I will be back on the big camera by next week's video. I'm going to get a new lens for it. Not exactly sure what lens, but definitely going to get a new lens for it sometime this week, and we should be back full time on the big camera by next video. So with all that being said, I'll catch all of you guys in next Sunday's video. Peace.